Have you ever wanted to go surfing and at a beach that you've either been to before or not? Which actually doesn't matter, because after watching this movie, you're probably not gonna wanna go, because what the did I just watch? Well, I watched a movie called The Surfer, starring Nicolas Cage, about a man who wants to go surfing, but doesn't go well for him. So here's my quick spoiler-free review, including rating. I don't remember watching a movie like this before, or it's just been a long time. It's one of those movies where like, you understand, but you don't understand. And I think its goal is to make you not understand, kinda, and then also at the same time unintentionally funny, but maybe it actually is trying to be funny, but then low-key it is unintentionally funny. Before watching this movie, I'm thinking, I don't think I'm gonna like this movie that much. Surfing, I don't really care that much about, and whatever, based on the trailer. But after watching the movie, low-key not bad. The story and plot of this movie, not bad, but there are a couple missteps in it, or a couple few moments that like the decisions being made or not being made just didn't make sense to me. And I understand that, sometimes it's gotta be a little bit of a silly or dumb decision for the movie to continue, for something bad to happen, for it to be more of a redemption after or something like that. But I just don't like when it's almost like too obvious to actually do something that you don't. The pacing and editing of this movie. Now the pacing wasn't bad, it was more at a slower pace, nothing too crazy. And in terms of how this movie was edited, there's moments where it makes you think that like you're on some stuff. The dialogue, pretty interesting, sometimes not bad. Other moments where you're thinking, that's an odd thing to say. And then like, you sometimes don't even know what's real or what's fake. And then in terms of the characters, the acting I think was fine. Didn't really have any issues with anyone acting terribly or anything like that. I think it was solid. But in terms of how the characters act themselves, some of them I'm thinking, man, like, what's wrong with you? And yes, this movie was unintentionally funny, and funny as some moments that actually made me laugh. There wasn't much action. It's more about if you're somewhere where they say you shouldn't be, maybe you should listen, or things would just get a lot worse for you. And oh my gosh, it got to a point where I started to feel bad for Nicolas Cage's character. But then when it came to the ending of this movie, or the third act, or more of like closer to the end, I liked most of the ending. I think it was solid. There were a couple things that I was like, oof, but other than that, And just watching Nicolas Cage do certain things that I personally wouldn't, even if I was in that same position. So here's the verdict. Would I watch this movie again? I don't know. Would I recommend this movie to someone? I don't know. Would I ever go surfing? Because I've never gone surfing after watching this movie. Well, if I gotta do even some of the things that happen in this movie for surfing wise, no! What would I rate this movie out of 10? Well, in my mind right now, I'm thinking of like a 6.5 to 7 out of 10. Like I said, I don't think it's bad, even though I'm mainly more into, you already know, that into superhero sci-fi stuff. But hey, I could appreciate, all types of genres of movies and stuff, and I like movies in general. If you already watched this movie, what would you rate it out of 10? Any overall thoughts? And if you haven't yet and you plan to, I hope you enjoy it.